Okay, it's getting a little dark out, so I'm going to try and get this finished before it gets too dark. Let's see, where were we? I just finished cutting out the two front pieces. So same thing I did on the back. I ironed my paper onto the wrong side, and there is your one piece, and here is number 2. Okay, so now all we're going to do is sew our pieces together. So like I said, I'm using a universal needle with regular brown thread. I'm using matching thread. I've given myself a couple strips. If you want to put your strips on, all you're going to do is get them even in the middle, tie a knot in them. And then when you turn them, try and turn them so the fabric faces each other like this, so that when they do go to get sewed on the vest, that both of the good parts of the fabric is showing in front. So, and then you're going to just cut this one and this one. Okay, so here's the back piece. Here's one of the front pieces. You just need to lay them and match them up on the shoulder seams. So we're just going to go ahead and put that seam in right now. Let me make sure you can see on the computer. Let me see if you can see. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to just use my regular stitch. I'm going to go, I'm using my standard 1/4 inch seam, backspace it, and then forward. Okay, back up a little bit. Okay, and then just finish it off. And that's it. Now, I cut my seams down because I didn't want that big of a seam to be showing on the inside of the vest. But if you don't want to do that, you can go ahead and leave them exactly the way they are, and then just finger press them down, or iron them on the but if you're not going to have any lining in this, I would just recommend just cutting it down to maybe a 1/8 of an inch, or even a 1/16 of an inch, because that stitch isn't going anywhere. If you're concerned about it, then go ahead and double stitch it. So if you're not happy with it, if you're not happy with it's just, these are so easy, you just do that. Okay, so then you're going to go ahead now and put in your side seam. You're not going to catch any of your fringes. You're just going to sew directly from top to the bottom with no fringe inside that seam whatsoever. If you need to move over your stitches a little bit, go ahead and move your stitch over. Let me go here. Let me move my stitch over, since I didn't give myself enough room. We'll just go a little bit over to the right. Okay, good enough. So, back stitch, sew it, and make sure you don't catch your fringe in that. Back stitch, and there is your side seam for that one, and your fringe is not caught in the sewing. Okay, so same thing, you can leave it the way it is if you want to. If you want, you can even glue it down. You could use fabric glue and actually glue the seam open if you want to keep it the same width, or you can just cut it down like I did and just get rid of it all together. Okay, so there you go. That's half of your vest right there. Okay, that's as far as I'm going to go, because the rest is pretty self-explanatory. So as far as cutting these little fringes here, just start at the beginning and just work your way around. You just want to make them little, just cut them sideways, just so that they hang so they actually look like fringe. If you made the really long fringe ones, this is where you're going to want to add your pony beads or whatever you want. Now when you put this on the doll, it's going to lay flat like that. It's not going to look like a really fringed vest like this. The trick to doing that is this is a synthetic man-made fiber. So what you can do is you can just give it a little pull. See how it's going to curl a little bit? Just let it curl a little bit. And then it's going to bounce back. But if you just give it just a tiny little bit of a pull, you'll get that really nice fringy look. And it doesn't hurt the fabric. But that will, if this was leather, you'd be able to pull this no problem. But you can still do it a little bit with this fake fabric. It's like getting a pair of jeans and making them look old. And that's basically what pulling this fabric will do for you. It's going to bounce back, but some of it will stay down. So you get that, instead of that plain flat look like this, you get more of a fringy, curly look when it's on the doll. So instead of this flat, you get this. I mean, it's not much, but it does make a difference when it's on the doll. So it's just something to think about. Same with the boots, when you do it on the boots. Okay, so that's basically it. I'm not going to do any more. If you're going to do the tie-on, I already said about making sure that when you tie it so that the front, both of the pieces of the front are this way. So then you just take a needle, position it, and just sew right through here, and then tie it off. And that'll give you that really nice little decoration in the front. And that's how simple these are. They're just crazy simple. And try different fabrics if you want. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Have a good one.